Good evening and welcome, guys, to another episode of the Eagles Nest on the Sports Lounge Media. I want to say thank you to to the Sports Lounge Media for powering the Eagles Nest and making it what it is. And we're going to say a quick thank you to our sponsors, the Mogul Brand and the Diamond Collection. Thank you guys for your relentless pursuit to making the Sports Lounge Media the elite area to get your sports content. Guys, tonight I'm joined by a very familiar face. You guys know him as the Down South Philly Show, another premier Eagles creator in the spaces. I want to say thank you for taking the time to come on with me, man. How are we feeling?
Yeah, man, this is an excellent time to be an Eagles fan. I'm feeling great.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Preach. He's not wrong, guys. We have now exited, right? We have exited the draft. We've exited schedule release day. Now we're having rookies signed. It's starting to get more real, right? We're coming up on OTAs as well as we're coming out of rookie OTAs and coming into mandatory OTAs, where we're going to start to see some very familiar faces coming back to the Philadelphia NovaCare Center for training. And we're almost there, guys. You got to think about it. In a couple months, we will have the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio, between the Lions and the Chargers. That one's going to be absolutely electric. And after that, we get ready for an opening evening showdown with the Dallas Cowboys in Philly. But before we get to all that, guys, I kind of want to talk about the rookies that we brought on. Since the draft, we haven't had a real opportunity to look at these guys and their growth. We've signed a lot of unrestricted free agents as well. But when we look at these guys' contracts, guys, of the 10 cats we have brought on with us, we still have some guys that haven't signed contracts yet. As of now, we are very patiently waiting for Jihad Campbell and Andrew Makuba to sign their contracts. Although they have been in talks, guys, there's no need to alarm or be panicked. They're both at practice. They're both there soaking in, the defense with Vic Fangio. But as of right now, they have not signed contracts. We are still waiting on official confirmation for those guys. But as we look here, Ty Robinson, the Vanilla Gorilla, has officially became a Philadelphia Eagle. He signs a 4-year, $5.2 million contract with the Philadelphia Eagles. Man, I think this is a guy that me and Down South are both very excited for.
Yeah, man. Makuba, that's what you say, Makuba?
Yeah, we got Jihad and Makuba, who haven't signed, and then Ty Robinson, who has officially become an Eagle as of, I believe, 2 days ago.
I'm excited, man. I think the personally, I'm most excited about Ty Robinson. I kind of got a feeling that the other guys are going to be fine. But just looking at his measurables, looking at his tape his senior year, didn't even realize that he's actually bigger than JJ Watt was. That was my comp for him.
Wow.
When I went back to look at it, but he's 6'6". JJ Watt was 6'5". His playing weight was about 266. He's coming in at 3 something. So if he can have some low pad level, because that's going to be his issue as a D tackle. If he can keep his pad level low, he's going to be a monster.
Absolutely agree with Down South. I mean, this is a guy that we're talking about that can play the shade. He can play the 3 technique. He can play all the way out on the 5 guys. I would feel comfortable putting that in 8 outside on the outside end of a tight end. The kid is
Absolutely.
extremely athletic. He ran 22, 21 miles an hour at the combine, which was the fastest of all defensive linemen. The kid is a genetic anomaly. I mean, he's basically J.J. Watt Jr. So it's exciting to see him finally sign his contract. He is officially an Eagle. He can put all of the business side of things behind him and really lock into Vic Fangio's system and, just get a feel for it. Some other names in the Eagles rookie camp that have also signed contracts. Obviously, you have Antoine Powell-Ryland, who signed a $4.3 million contract immediately after the draft. Very excited for him as well. I can't believe a guy that was 3rd in FBS in sacks fell to the to the 6th round. Big signing there for the Philadelphia Eagles. You also have quarterback Kyle McCord and tackle Miles Hinton, both signing 4-year, $4.4 million contracts directly after the draft. So those guys are locked in. I know that Kyle McCord was a bit of a question mark, but I can kind of see the vision now. You have Tanner McNee that's probably going to leave the Philadelphia Eagles soon to go chase a starting job in the NFL somewhere. And you have Kyle McCord on a 4-year rookie deal where you're not shelling out an extenuous amount of money. Outside of that, we also have guard center Drew Kendall, as well as one of the guys that I think is a sleeper pick we took. That's linebacker Smile Munden Jr. out of Georgia. Both of those guys signed 4-year, $4.5 million contracts to become Philadelphia Eagles. And that's a guy that I think could eventually be a full-time guy in the NFL, right? He's got the body size. I think he still needs to work on his run fits and his instinctual play. But right now, it's looking very promising for Smile London Jr.
Here's the thing about Smile. He's gonna get the reps because you think about it, Dean's hurt and Jihad is hurt right now. So him and Trotter have the they got the opportunity to make some noise in camp. And hey, who knows what can happen if once you get that opportunity. You saw Q, they put him in the starting position and they couldn't take him out. So who knows?
He's got a good point. He's got an excellent point. Another name that comes to mind, Jalen Hunt, was kind of thrown into that starting rotation in the playoffs due to poor play from Bryce Huff and the injury to Brandon Graham. It kind of made, that rotation shorter, and Jalen Hunt got, earlier reps, and it kind of paid off for us, right? I mean, we look at what Jalen Hunt did, and I'm excited to see what year 2 can look like for him as well. Outside of those guys, the only guys right now that we're sitting on day 3 that have not signed a contract, the only guy I should say, is tackle Cam Williams out of Texas. He's the only day 3 guy that hasn't signed a contract. It is probably coming within time. Another guy that we're really excited for. I think he's the most green of all of the guys that we brought in, especially at the tackle position. But later on down the road, he has the ceiling to be a guy at tackle, right? He's got the body measurements, 6'6", 318 pounds, 11-inch hands, which is 98th percentile for tackles in the NFL. He's going to be a dude later on down the road, especially when he gets to attend the greatest offensive line university in football. So outside of that, guys, those are the only guys not signed are Jihad Campbell, Andrew Mukuba, and Cam Williams with the signing of Ty Robinson. So in the coming days, I fully expect us to bring on Jihad Campbell. He's already been on record saying that he's not worried about numbers right now. He's only worried about taking in Fangio's defense and, learning all that he can. Very excited to see those guys. But that's what the rookie contract situation looks like right now, guys. It's very much set in stone. We only have 3 guys that haven't signed. And then we got Sarai. Hey, what's happening? Another member of the Sports Lounge Media. Appreciate you for coming out and showing the support. Now we move on, guys. We have had a little bit of loss in the Philadelphia Eagles organization with the departure of the director of college scouting, Anthony Patch, going to the Raiders, as well as Brandon Hunt, the senior director of scouting. Both of those guys will go to the Raiders. Anthony Patch will become the new senior personal executive, and Brandon Hunt will become the new vice president of player personnel. So not only has Howie taken these guys and developed them, he's also put them in senior roles in another organization. And guys, that's an organization that has a very firm hand with Tom Brady in it. So if Tom Brady felt comfortable enough to bring those guys over, and Howie's out here just creating master classes, more power to them. That's kind of a problem you run into when you're one of the best ran organizations in football. You have guys leave to take better jobs.
Yeah, man. That's just what happens when you are a Super Bowl champion. Unfortunately, you get picked clean. And that's just a testament to what we were able to do this past year. It's also a testament to our front office and coaching staff just being able to year after year lose so much but still remain relevant, still remain competitive, and ultimately win it all is the main goal. So it's going to happen every year, especially if you have a significant amount of success like we did. So hopefully it won't be a big loss. Obviously when you lose any good guys, that you feel it, but at the same time we still got Howie, the man with the plan. So
The Godfather.
as
He's the
long
guy.
as we still have Howie, I'm still hopeful that we can make those deals. We still got Jeffrey Lurie who's willing to pay that money up front, which is a huge part of how we do our contracts. So
100%.
as long as they can continue to keep that formula going, as much as it sucks to lose good people, we understand that it's going to happen every year.
Absolutely. It's 100% right. It's every year we're going to see this kind of turnover, but it's the price you pay. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. And right now ours is the heaviest in the NFL. So at the end of the day, guys, we're going to be fine. Howie Roseman is still, in my opinion, a top 3 GM in the league. And I don't think he's 3 or 2. So I fully expect him to bring in more guys that can immediately contribute to the success of the Philadelphia Eagles. Not a lot of worry there. But guys, that's kind of the news that's hanging around the Philadelphia Eagles right now. We're kind of hitting into that lull period. We'll have more news for you once OTAs goes. But as we know, Wednesday, So not even 24 hours. We now know the NFL schedule, and although it was kind of, known on Monday what the schedule was going to be, we kind of have an idea now. Well, we do have an idea now of what the Philadelphia Eagles schedule is going to look like, and I think right about now is a good time for me and Down South to break it down for you and kind of give our record predictions in an unbiased manner. I have had a chance to look at the schedule. Obviously, strength of schedule plays a weird role in the offseason because we can only go off of what we known from a year ago. But I think we can give you a pretty good idea of what this Philadelphia Eagles team is capable of, having the fourth hardest schedule. So when we bring it up, I mean, right now, obviously the September 4th date with the Cowboys, sorry. We have those guys coming to the link on banner night. They get to watch the ring fall down, and we get to kind of, teach old Jerry Jones what it looks like to run an organization. But that one, for me, is a big one for the Philadelphia Eagles. It's a huge momentum builder for both squads. I love the fact that the NFL is having more first week divisional games because it makes them more important, right? That game matters a lot. Both of us are healthy, and as you have reminded me, Dak and Jalen haven't really been able to play each other while they've been
3
healthy.
times.
There's always been a disconnect, and it's always been, well, we were hurt, we weren't at 100%. Well, all that's out the window, guys. On September 4th on a Thursday at 8:20 in prime time, the Dallas Cowboys will be visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. And guys, I think this game is going to be a little closer than some Eagles fans think, right? I think that, historically, when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, we do tend to start slowly. We have a new offensive coordinator. Obviously, I'm not sitting here saying that's going to be a problem for Jalen. He's had 7, but do expect some ugly football in week 1. It's going to happen, guys. You got to work out the kinks. You got new pieces in the offense. You may even have new styles of running with the offense. So there's going to be a few kinks, but I still have the Eagles by 10 in this one. I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles on a home opener. I just don't see us losing that one specifically against Dallas. So give me Philly to start out 1-0, and Down South, give me your thoughts.
Yeah. Before I give my take on that, I want to address our TikTok family. We cannot see your comments. We're not ignoring you. So if you want to become a part of the conversation, just drop on over to the YouTube and we'll be able to see your comments. We are not ignoring you. We just can't see it because of what we're using. But just pop on over to YouTube. We'll be able to respond to you, and we can keep the conversation going on YouTube.
Absolutely, guys. I
yeah.
appreciate you for saying that. Also, anybody that's looking on, Sports with Sunshine, pop over to the YouTube, links in the bio, and let's continue the conversation in the chat on YouTube.
Absolutely. But with the Cowboys, let's not kid ourselves. Anytime Dak is healthy, they have a chance to play competitive football in the regular season. Historically, he's been 9-4, whatever, against us.
3-3 in Philly.
Yeah, and 5-4 in meaningful football. But I feel really good about this one. As odd as it is to say, this is a must-win game for us, given how hard our schedule is right off the bat.
No, I completely agree.
We can't afford to drop a conference division game right off the bat. I don't think that Dallas did enough to necessarily close the gap, talent wise. Obviously that doesn't win football games alone any given Sunday, right? Especially when you consider the fact that these players just don't play preseason games no more. So that has a lot to do with why we come out the gate rusty historically over the past 4 or 5 years when they're playing less and less. But with all that being said, I'm still confident in us being good enough to beat Dallas, get to 1-0 on the season, and get this defending of the championship on the way.
Absolutely. He's 100% right, guys, when he says that this is a must-win game for the Philadelphia Eagles. And obviously, if we lose the game, it doesn't throw the whole season out of the window. But, guys, look at the schedule. It doesn't get any easier. You drop that one to Dallas. Now you're on the road in Kansas City, and that brings us to our next game. You're on the road in Kansas City. It's a rematch of the Super Bowl. I understand everybody's saying Kansas City is going to take a step back. I believe that they're going to take a small step back. But, guys, they're still the Kansas City Chiefs. It's still Patrick Mahomes, who's the best quarterback playing football right now. It's still Andy Reid, a top 3 and not 3 head coach in the league, as well as Spagnuolo on defense. That team is going to be tough, and it's in their place. It's not easy to win in Arrowhead. Last time we went, we did get the dub. Right now, we're tied with them, I believe, 2-2.
Yeah, it's two and
Pat,
two.
Pat and Jalen are 2-2, so that will break the tie. That's a rough one on the road for me. That's our first 50-50 game, in my opinion. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say we lose this one on the road. It's a 425. Since it's a 50-50 game, I think there is a real possibility we could drop that one due to slow starts, but it also depends kind of on what Kansas City looks like in week 2 as well. I know they have like an 11th hardest schedule, somewhere around there. We have the 4th. So I'm going to count that one as a loss on the road. I don't necessarily think it's a detrimental loss, and I do think it will be competitive. But I'm going to give Kansas City that one on the road just because it's early on. Historically, the Eagles don't get off the fast starts, and I think that would hurt us against Kansas City. Although last season, Kansas City wasn't exactly winning games in pretty fashions. But all that matters at the end of the day is, are you winning those games? So for this one, I'm going to go 1-1 for the Philadelphia Eagles. They drop this one on the road in Kansas City.
Hear me out. Jalen Hurts plays some of his best football when he's going up against Pat Mahomes. Yes, this is a hard schedule, but we, especially offensively, only lost, a right guard, and I have all the faith in Steen to step up. I actually am picking him as one of my breakout candidates for this season.
Ooh.
I think that he probably all but won the starting job. He just got hurt. And once he got hurt, Becton slid in there and never let it go. That's why it's so, important that, availability is the best ability. So as long as you can stay healthy, I got us winning a close one in Arrowhead. Like I said,
And
Jalen
I might
plays
change.
some
You
of his
never know.
best
September
ball.
14th might come
Hey,
around. I
it's
might change
early.
my
It's
mind.
early. We don't even know, what our 53-man roster looks like. We still could possibly make some moves. But if you make me choose right now, I'm gonna say we're gonna win that game. Very close. They're gonna come out. They want revenge. As a matter of fact, our first 3 games, they want get back. We swept
Everyone.
we swept Dallas. We beat it probably feels like a sweep to Kansas City
Beat the
in the
brakes
Super
off of
Bowl.
Kansas City in the
And
biggest
we
game in
swept
football.
the Rams. So all 3 of those teams gonna be wanting some get back, and on top of the fact that they facing the champs.
100% agree. And this goes back to our original point, is how important that Dallas game is for a momentum builder. Because then you leave Kansas City, and let's just say we win, we're at 2-0. Now you're coming back home against a Rams team that got their heart broken in Philadelphia the last time they were there in the divisional round. And I think that this Rams team is significantly improved. Now you have a real offensive powerhouse, Kyren Williams. I think his name's Kyren Williams.
Kyren,
Yeah, Kyren Williams, Devontae Adams, and Puka Nacua, all behind a playoff-ready quarterback in Matthew Stafford. That offensive line just gets better. The defensive line, I think, is going to be one of the best in football next season. I think their season kind of hinges on what that secondary is going to look like. Are they going to be able to stop the pass? I know they weren't super great against the run, so can they get better? They were good at getting after the quarterback, but when it came to stopping the run, that's kind of where the Rams struggled. So if they can get better in run defense, that's going to be a scary football team. I have Philly winning that one at home. I think that, at home, we are a hard team to beat, a very hard team to beat at home. And I think that early on, before the Rams get any kind of rhythm going between Devontae Adams and Matthew Stafford, I think that's a really good time for the Eagles to get them. So I'm going to take the Eagles to win that one against the Rams. Now we're at 2-1 for me.
Yeah, man, that's another one of those ones where the way people feel about Tampa when it comes to the Eagles, that's how I feel about the Rams. It just seems like for whatever reason we have their number, and I don't think it's any different with week 3. I think we start this thing off 3-0.
That's that, man. Yeah, he's talking me into it, guys. I can agree with him. I think that, by the time I come around and make my actual official predictions, I could probably give us that win. But now you're moving into to week 4, where the give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, so y'all heard it here first, folks. I'm predicting us to at least go 3-0 at this point. The first 3 teams have the most to they want some get back, like I said. So yeah,
Absolutely.
3-0, baby.
And that brings me to the next point. Now we go to the terror, the nightmare it is for Philadelphia Eagles in Tampa Bay, Florida. Here, not 20 minutes from where I'm sitting. I think that that game, I don't see us losing this one. I think we finally break whatever you want to call it, the curse or whatever you want to call it, of Philly not being able to get it done in Tampa. I think that Tampa has not gotten significantly better. I think we were missing a lot of guys in that week 4 matchup last time. Obviously, that's not an excuse to have 33 dropped on your head, but we also had a brand new defensive system. I think now a lot of those guys are more comfortable in what they're trying to do. They bring in Mbuka, and I know they still have Baker Mayfield, but I'm not going to count on Baker Mayfield having back-to-back seasons like he had a year ago, 40-plus touchdowns. I think Tampa Bay is going to struggle early on, and these guys are not very young on the offensive side or in the defensive back end. So I'm going to take Philly to win this one more comfortably than people think. I know that we don't necessarily play well there, whatever the case may be. I think Philly gets it done in week 4. And now we're at 3-1 for me.
Here's a factor. Last year, I know again we don't want to add excuses. We haven't when we've had both AJ and Devontae, we can beat them. When we're missing, either of those weapons, we tend to, look bad on the offensive side of the ball. Hopefully, we can go into this game healthy. It's going to be hot. I believe we played them in week 4 last year.
It
And
was 111 degrees by the
yeah,
Pirate Ship in the bowl.
yeah.
It was
So I mean,
ridiculous.
I'm expecting it to be more of the same. I actually got us dropping this one, but not getting spanked like we did last year. It's
Right.
still early for us. If we see them again in the playoffs, I have all the confidence in the world that we'll take care of them. Just because Hurts just elevates his game in the playoffs. But I got us losing this one, and really, if nothing else, just because I know we can't go undefeated.
Yeah, nope, that's fair. This is definitely one on the road that would be a prime time loss for the Eagles. That would make a lot of sense, but I think we're going to take care of business there. You come back home after Tampa Bay, and now you get a new and improved Denver Broncos. October 5th coming into Philadelphia, and guys, I think this Denver team. I think the world of this Denver team. I think on paper this defense looks to be arguably one of the best in football. Obviously, paper doesn't mean anything once the gridiron starts playing. But right now, looking at it, I think this Denver defense is terrifying. When I say terrifying, we're the Eagles. We don't really care who we play. But in terms of skill, I think they're very skilled at a lot of different positions. Offensively, I think it rides on Kimbo Nix. Do it again. Their offense added some guys, but no names that make me go, oh no, like they're going to take it over the top. So they have a lot to prove offensively, but I think that this is one that the Philadelphia Eagles can handle at home, depending on what the momentum of the season looks like at this point. I'm going to take Philly to win this one by at least 10.
Yeah, man, I agree. I just don't have much faith in especially young guys being able to consistently beat this defense. Um, they do have a hell of a defense themselves, but we got a hell of an offense. So
Agreed.
I'm taking the Birds 4-1 at this point.
And yeah, that's a hell of a start. Hell
I'll
of a
take it.
start
I'll
for
take it.
the Super Bowl champs. Then you move on and you get the New York Giants on the wait. Are we at home there? No, we're on the road. We're on the road. If it's clear like that, we're on the road. So now we're traveling to MetLife to take on a new and improved New York Giants in prime time. I I don't necessarily. I know that the Giants are going to be improved defensively. They're going to be a lot better than they were last year. I think they were putrid last year. Couldn't stop a nosebleed. That being said, I still think that we have the team to sweep them. So I think we get this win on the road. Their quarterback situation is a gigantic question mark. Can Russell Wilson play an entire season? And behind Russell Wilson, what do you really have in Jameis Winston and those guys? I mean, he's going to throw for a lot of yards, but he's also going to commit a lot of turnovers. And Vic Fangio's defenses thrive on turning the football over. That's quite literally what Vic Fangio does, is turn the football over. He's a bend, don't break guy. He doesn't allow touchdowns, and he turns the football over. So I think that, as the Giants have gotten better, I don't know that they've gotten better enough to beat us yet in a competitive matter. Give me the Eagles to take care of business in MetLife.
Yeah, man. How can I? I mean, it's the Giants. I know. Just because let's start by saying this: every team in the division got better, but there was
Right.
a clear gap in them and us, and it's still there. It may not be as significant as it was last season, but we're still a better team than them. Russell Wilson just doesn't have what he used to have. And it's not like he's got neighbors, but outside of neighbors, do we really trust Wan'Dale Robinson? I do like that their running back situation. It's not great, but it's serviceable. I just don't think they have enough to beat us. So give me that one too.
Agreed. They're just not there yet, right?
Yeah.
And this is not a slight to Giants fans. I feel like the Giants have gotten better, but
Yeah.
you're just not there. Like there's a difference between Super Bowl champions and being better in the division. Then
It's
you move
levels.
on, and you've got another pretty tough road game against the Minnesota Vikings. I think Minnesota defensively is going to be very good defensively. Last season, they were very good at getting after the quarterback. They were great in pass D. I think that everything Minnesota rides on is J.J. McCarthy the guy, right? That's what the Minnesota Vikings entire season hinges on it. This rookie guy, technically he's a rookie, he hasn't played a snap in the NFL yet due to injury. So he's a rookie quarterback in my eyes. Is he going to be able to get it done? I think that'll be a competitive one. I mean, it's a 1:00 game. I do think it'll be competitive, but I'm not going to bank on J.J. McCarthy being able to have an outstanding day versus a Vic Fangio-led Eagles defense. So give me the Birds to win that one as well.
Yeah, Vikings fall into that category again that I was talking about earlier, where
With Denver.
it just seems like they not with Denver, but I mean, yes, Denver too, but more so like we have their number. It just seems like they're one of those teams that just for whatever reason we don't have a hard time beating them. And that's whether they have Kirk Cousins or whoever else they want to try it out there. And also to your point that I made earlier as well, we don't know what McCarthy is. He's a young quarterback. He's definitely not seen this defense. So give me the Birds.
Agreed. 100% agreed. Couldn't agree more. Next, you move on, and you got the New York Giants at home. Guys, give me the Eagles. At home,
Yeah.
the Giants coming into hostile territory. We don't even know how healthy the Giants are going to be at that point. Are they going to have a run game? Will they be able to get the football going offensively? I'm going to take the Eagles at home versus the Giants, and we will sweep the Giants this season just like we did last season. This one's short and sweet.
First broom of the season.
Agreed.
Straight into the bye.
Then you go into the bye week. And for me, you're a one-loss team. For down south, you're also a one-loss team going into the bye week. That's a damn good start for the fourth hardest schedule in football, and in a schedule that doesn't have any back-to-back home games. So now you come out of the bye week and you get a game that I think a lot of people are excited for. The Eagles head over to Green Bay to take on the Green Bay Packers. And, they've had quite the busy offseason trying to get the competitive advantage over the Eagles. And it seems that as of now, I do know next week the tush push will be voted on. I fully expect it to be pushed into next season, and the Green Bay Packers are going to have to deal with that in Green Bay. That being said, I do think the Green Bay Packers are going to be a playoff caliber team, at least a wild card caliber team. Big question for them too is, can Jordan Love finally put it together? Now they go out, they get him a receiver in the draft. Defensively, they got a little bit younger. I know they're losing Jair Alexander, and that secondary wasn't necessarily great last year. So I mean, that's a big question mark. They weren't really great against the run either. And I like their linebacker core, but outside of that, the defensive line's kind of a what if for me. Give me the Eagles to take care of business in Lambeau, and what seems to be a bit of a rivalry forming between the Eagles and the Green Bay Packers as of late.
Rivalries require you to lose. So this is another one of those teams
one-sided rivalry.
Yeah, I just don't I don't see it. Jordan Love, I do like his game, but I just don't see it's time for him to take that next step, right? Obviously he just needs to be more consistent. And health plays a factor with him as well. But we are a dangerous team out of the bye. I'm loving the fact that it's smack dab right in the middle of our season. Obviously last year our week 5 bye ended up being a blessing in disguise because we needed it early. But the football guys saw fit to put it in its rightful place this year. And I think we come out of this thing with a dub.
Agreed. Still one loss going into week 11.
Yep.
And now another game that I think a lot of people are very excited for, because this fan base has been talking nonstop for the last few months. Oh, if we were healthy. Oh, if it was in Detroit. Oh, the Eagles weren't making it out of Detroit. Well, guess what, Detroit? You got a chance to come into Philadelphia and make all that go away. The Lions come to Philadelphia November 16th and another primetime game, Sunday Night Football. This one's going to be good for me. I'm excited for this one. I think this is going to be a competitive one. Obviously, it matters how healthy the Lions are at that point in time. But at the end of the day, guys, I don't believe that. I believe when the lights get brightest, Jared Goff shies away from that. And I see it happening again here on Sunday night in Philly. I think that the Lions are going to finally see what this defense was. Jared Goff's going to see ghosts, and the Philadelphia Eagles are going to take care of business here in a very competitive game, because I think the Detroit Lions like to do a lot of things similar to us. In terms of running the football, but I think they're a little bit more explosive in their passing game. The Eagles defense wasn't really allowing explosive plays last season. So it kind of all depends on what the defense looks like in week 11. I trust Vic Fangio to have an answer for Jared Goff. Give me the Eagles to win that one at home.
Yeah, I take the Eagles as well. I've never been much of a believer in golf. He can make some throws, but he also will in big games give it away. I wholeheartedly say that he is the to blame and play calling for them losing against Washington in the playoffs. So yeah, give me the Birds, man.
Agreed. That one will feel good to win. Then you go on the road in Dallas. Guys, I firmly believe the Dallas Cowboys are going to be significantly improved this season. I think by this point in time, Dallas is also still going to be very much in the hunt. I have us dropping this one on the road. I think we split with Dallas this season. Let me say this. If Dak Prescott's playing in this game, there's a chance we could lose this one on the road. So if he's playing in this game, I'll take Dallas to win that one in a dogfight. I really do think that Dallas is going to be significantly improved. I think they're going to be battling us for that number one spot in the division this season. Time will tell. It depends on how healthy everyone is at week 12. But in this one, give me Dallas at home. Historically, Dak is 6-1 at home versus the Eagles. So we do not play particularly well when Dak is there in Jerry's world. So give me the Cowboys. That's 2 losses now.
Only because we can't go undefeated. Give me that one. And like you said, that the caveat to that is if Dak is healthy. If he's out for whatever reason, you can cancel Christmas on that one. But yeah, I'll mark this one as a loss too.
Yep. So now you move into 9-2. You're coming into the week 13 with the Chicago Bears. And guys, I think the Chicago Bears had one of the best off seasons in football. They had a great draft. The offensive line is completely reshaped. Now you have Ben Johnson, who's going to try to come in and pull the potential out of Caleb Williams, a guy that has just come out, didn't even want to be in Chicago. Now he's there. He's the number one guy. I think that they will be better. They will not be better enough to beat us at home in prime time. Give me the Eagles to win this one. Even though they are much improved, I think it'll be a little closer than people think. But the Eagles take care of business. Give me the Birds at home.
Yeah, man. Come on now. What we're doing here. This is Caleb. I have to see more out of Caleb. I was never really impressed with him as a college player. Obviously, I throw everything out for rookies. I believe that you should have your time to develop. So I'll reserve my judgment on him as a quarterback in this league until he's had time to do so. But I just got to see it. Give me the Birds.
Agreed. 100% agreed. You go to 10-2 coming into an LA road trip with the Chargers. I'm excited for this one. Day after my birthday, you got the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to LA again, a place where, like Down South has said, we've seen a little bit of success on the road in LA as of recent times. I don't think it stops here. I think we're in a bit of a dogfight with the Chargers in Monday Night Football, because the Chargers play a very tough brand of defense. So give me a close Eagles win in one of the better games of the year. I think that's going to be a good one. Harbaugh is going to have the Chargers playing at a tough clip. Big question mark, is Justin Herbert going to finally turn the corner and start playing like a elite quarterback? They love to throw Justin Herbert in those top 10, top 5 conversations. I haven't seen top 10 play from Justin Herbert when the lights are brightest. So in this one, give me the Eagles on the road to continue success in LA.
I think that Justin Herbert is going to throw some pretty interceptions in this game.
Quignon, warm up them hands, brother.
Go Birds.
He said, that's all I had to say. Go Birds. Agreed. Now you're moving into 11-2 with the Raiders, who I think, again, guys, the AFC West is going to be a competitive division. You got the Raiders, who've gotten significantly better. But again, I think they fall into a similar category with the Chicago Bears. Had they gotten better enough to beat us at home? I don't think so. There's another caveat here, though, guys, is if we have the division close to locked up, or, depending on what our record looks like, We're starting to get into that stretch of games where we start resting guys here in week 15 and beyond. I don't think we'll necessarily be there yet here with the Raiders. So I think they'll get our best. The Raiders have added some weapons in Geno Smith. Geno Smith's got some guys to throw to now. Big question mark is Ashton Genty's production going to translate to the NFL? Give me the Eagles winning this one at home.
I don't think we have the luxury of rest, especially not this early. And I say that because one, the toughness of our schedule, but two, the ease of everybody else's schedule. Outside of the Giants, Dallas and Washington have some pretty favorable schedules. So we may end up having to go right down to the wire just to secure not only the division, but that number 1 or number 2 seed in the playoffs. So I think we're still going to have to play some competitive football. Give me the Birds with this one too.
Agreed. Yep. That brings us to 12-2, which is a damn good record for a team that just played out of the Super Bowl, especially with a schedule like this. Now you get to go on the road to Washington. A lot of guys have this game circled as one of the game of the years because I think that the media is very high on the Washington Commanders. They are completely expecting us to be battling it out with them in the division. I think the Washington Commanders take a step back. Now, I don't necessarily think it's going to be the kind of step back that CJ Stroud took because I do think Jayden Daniels has a better offensive line in Washington than CJ had in Houston. But that being said, the Washington Commanders are going to take a step back this season. There's film on them. They didn't do anything in the offseason that leads me to believe they're going to be better against the run. So you can score as many points as you want, but when guys are dropping 55 points on you in conference championship games, it's a problem. So give me the Philadelphia Eagles to go on the road and take care of business in a competitive game, but they take care of business against the Washington Commanders. Move us to 13-2.
As much as I want this game, I feel like whenever you have a decent opponent in the division, you usually split. So I got us losing to them in Washington and us taking care of business at home.
That's fair. So then, yeah, we're at 13-2 for me, 12-3 for you going into the Buffalo week. Now, the Buffalo week is one where we don't really know because Buffalo is probably going to be well off at that point. They don't have a hard schedule at all. I think at that point in time, Buffalo's not going to be playing Josh Allen. So I think that, that one's going to kind of be a backup game. I think that we can win that game, especially historically. The Eagles have had, specifically Jalen Hurts has had good success versus Josh Allen. Give me the Eagles to win that one, but it kind of depends on who's playing in that game before I'm ready to say like, oh, the Eagles need to win or lose that game. That game could be vastly irrelevant at week 17, but give me the Birds at home or on the road.
That game timing wise sucks.
It does.
It could be a whole lot of it could well not from that standpoint. I'm thinking more of the weather. This is Buffalo we're talking about. It could be covered in damn snow. And way worse than what we had to play the Packers in because this is Buffalo. So I got us losing this one unless Josh Allen doesn't. Again, I'm just making it make sense because I know we can't beat everybody on the schedule.
Right.
So I think we drop 2 in a row and then finish up this thing at home and take home the dub.
Yeah, I agreed. I have us going back home and beating the Commanders as well. I think we're going to beat the Commanders both times. Obviously, time will tell. And that brings our win total up to me. I believe we're 14-2, something like that.
Yeah, and I got 13.
Yep, I think that this is a bottom floor 12-win team. That's if everything goes wrong. I think that this is a 12-win team. Top of the floor being 14 wins because like Down South said, you can't win them all. You're going to drop some. No team goes undefeated unless you're the Patriots. Last season, the Chiefs had one of the easier schedules, and they went 11-1 in one-score games. That doesn't happen that often. So, give me 13, 13-2, somewhere in that area. 13-3, I think is actually what it would be. Yeah, 13-3, somewhere in that area, 14-3, somewhere around there. And I think the Philadelphia Eagles make it back with the 1 seed going into the playoffs. I think we have home field advantage, and the playoffs run through the link, which is a big problem for everybody.
For the rest of the NFC.
Yeah, no, exciting stuff, guys. that's kind of what the schedule's looking like. Me and Down South just ran through the schedule as well as some of the rookie news. I want to say thank you to everybody coming out tonight, man, and coming and hanging out with the Sports Lounge Media Group, the Eagles Nest podcast. Thank you so much. It's so much fun to get together and talk with my guys, especially Down South. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come down here and talk some ball, man. I'm excited for the upcoming season. This is the Philadelphia Eagles schedule in flux. I got 13 wins, or I got 14 wins. Down South's got 13, I believe. And that's kind of where we're going to rest right now. Obviously, that can change as the season comes along. But, guys, thank you so much. I want to say thank you again to our sponsors, the Mogul brand and the Diamond Collection for sponsoring the Sports Lounge. And thank you to the Sports Lounge Media for powering the Eagles Nest podcast. And thank you to all you guys for making the Eagles Nest and Sports with Sunshine what it is. We don't exist without our viewers. You guys are absolutely incredible. And the rockets are rising, guys. The Sports Lounge is going to be the premier place to get any sports information. And I can't wait for every single one of you to be a part of it, guys. This come up is going to be absolutely insane. But as for right now, guys, I hope everyone has an absolutely incredible weekend, and I will see you all on Monday, where we are going to sit down with the Washington Commanders fans. I'm going to bring on a content creator, and we're going to take a look at their schedule and what they can do with their schedule moving into it. But as for now, guys, it's always go Birds.
Go Birds.